Why should I conserve energy and water? The answer to that question is easy. The less you use, the less raw materials and resources are needed to produce that energy. There's less need for power generation and water treatment facilities, and less need for new transmission and distribution systems. Using less energy and water at your school through active participation in conservation programs like Eco-Schools means monies normally spent on utilities can be redirected to educational programs. You save again as a taxpayer, as the municipality and the province need to spend less money on energy and water infrastructures, saving more resources, which reduces harmful carbon dioxide emissions and waste byproducts. The Greater Essex County District School Board recognizes the value of energy and water conservation and the importance of fostering an energy-conscious culture amongst all school communities. This presentation serves to support program curriculum and training already provided to custodians and Eco-Schools team members. The Ontario government recognizes the need for energy conservation in the public sector, and the Green Energy Act requires all Ontario school boards to report their annual energy consumption, as well as create an energy conservation and demand management plan. The plan provides a framework to assist the board in reducing energy consumption over the next 5 years and beyond. Electronic copies of our board's annual reports and our Energy Conservation Demand Management Plan are posted on the board's website under the Administrative Reports heading. These charts show how electricity and natural gas are used in an average school. Items highlighted in yellow are directly affected by how people use them, including lighting, office equipment, computers, and machinery. Building occupants have control over 70% of the electricity used in each building. Although the majority of natural gas is used for heating and not directly controlled by occupants, our behavior affects how efficiently our buildings use this gas. In 2014, the board spent over $6.8 million on utilities. This chart shows the energy intensity of each of our buildings measured for the 2014 school year. The energy intensity of a building is the amount of energy used in equivalent kilowatt hours per square foot. This includes electricity and natural gas. How does your school rate? There are 3 ways to improve your school's energy intensity and building energy efficiency. First, building upgrades can improve a building's energy intensity through projects such as replacing old heating, cooling, and ventilation equipment with newer, more efficient models. Did you know that our newer buildings are some of the top performers when it comes to energy intensity and they're air-conditioned? Other building upgrades can include replacing outdoor lights with more efficient LED lighting fixtures, and by installing occupancy sensors in areas where light is not always needed, such as in hallways. Secondly, tightening up building operational settings, set points, and schedules, and maintaining our equipment can lead to improvements in building energy efficiencies. Finally, the occupants can affect about 1/3 of our energy use. We can install the most efficient equipment and operate each building as efficiently as we can, but energy savings will only be realized if each occupant is energy conscious. Though many people are generally good at trying to conserve energy, we still have a lot of room for improvement. Most of the photos you'll see have recently been taken in our schools, showing many examples of the bad and the wasteful side of occupant behavior, along with the good. Most of our building temperature settings are controlled through the board's automation system. Standardized room heating temperatures are set at 21 degrees Celsius or 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 294 Kelvin for the science folks in the room. And cooling is set at 23 degrees Celsius or 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, that's 296 Kelvin. Here are some creative, albeit very inefficient ways people have incorrectly addressed heating issues. We found rooms where freezies and ice bags were used to trick room temperature sensors into calling for more heat. This is masking a potentially more serious mechanical problem that needs to be addressed and could also initiate false service calls. Now, with the board's new triage system, these tricked thermostats send an alarm, so this type of behavior can be addressed through the principal immediately. It's midwinter, and these windows are wide open. Would you do this at home? Using the window as a fridge not only wastes energy, but it also might be chilling some of the students. Don't attempt to cool a hallway with an air conditioner intended for a small area. Not only will both the room and hallway never get cool enough, the air conditioner will also waste a lot of energy and will have a shorter life by running constantly. It could also result in a false maintenance call for the air conditioner because it's not providing the cooling it's supposed to. In heated or air-conditioned spaces, keep windows and doors closed. If your space has heating issues, instead of attempting to control the room temperature on your own, please do complete a work order request form found in the office. The school's work order designate will submit the information in our work order system so that facility services can properly address the cause of your heating and cooling problem. These are unit ventilators. They're designed to provide heat and ventilation to the classroom. Air needs to flow through the unit, from the bottom through to the top, in order to operate effectively. Objects placed on top of or in front of unit ventilators can significantly reduce airflow, negatively affecting heating, cooling, unit ventilator operation, and indoor air quality. Such objects can also reduce access for building service and maintenance personnel attempting to perform preventative maintenance and repair work. In order for it to operate properly, the grills at the bottom and top of the unit ventilator should look like this. Lighting presents the largest potential for energy savings. As you can see here, lights are often left on when rooms aren't being used. Remember, over 50% of the board's electricity bill is a result of lighting. Please turn the lights off if you're the last to leave a room. It's easy, especially in large areas with many lights, such as gyms and cafeterias. These areas can be unoccupied for long periods of time. Also, when sunny days provide adequate light for learning, keep the lights off. Some of our schools have reported that doing this helps create a better learning environment. And remember to shut off all equipment, including computers, at the end of the day. Do you really need all of these appliances? Our Electrical Appliances Administrative Procedure, APPL 12, supports energy conservation and the board's health and safety program. It can be found listed under Administrative Procedures on the staff intranet. The procedure outlines acceptable uses of appliances in schools. For example, classroom appliances should be kept to a minimum and only used when necessary, and the use of personal heaters should only be considered a temporary measure until a heating issue can be resolved. Personal heaters not only pose a fire risk, but they also consume a great deal of electricity. Again, heating issues should be addressed through the work order system. Also, please be sure to purchase energy-efficient appliances for your schools. Our purchasing policy only supports the purchase of Energy Star appliances. Is that 30-year-old donated fridge really a good idea? There are other ways to conserve energy, such as by dressing appropriately for the weather. Sweaters are for winter, and t-shirts for summer, not vice versa. Keeping blinds and curtains closed at night not only helps to insulate your room, but it also helps with building security. Let's not forget about water. Plumbing issues can result in a large amount of water waste. We found that an unreported toilet in one of our schools, running constantly overnight, wasted about 20,000 liters of water. That's equivalent to 40,000 bottles of water. Don't leave taps running, and do not purposely prop fountains or Bradley sinks open. If you find a water leak, submit a work order request immediately. It could be falsely assumed that someone else has reported it already, and it might not be addressed right away, resulting in a lot of unnecessary wasted water. You can also save water by planting drought-tolerant plants in your green spaces and by using only the water that you need. Since 2012, 59 schools have participated in an annual energy challenge. These schools pledge to implement conservation best practices to save as much energy and water as possible during a 5-month period. Collectively, these schools have saved 31,000 cubic meters, or 31 million liters of water. That's equivalent to the water in 12 Olympic-sized pools. And over 1.5 million kilowatt hours of electricity, the same electricity needed to power 150 Canadian homes for a year. They also saved over 1,000 tons of greenhouse gas, carbon dioxide emissions. That's like taking over 62,000 cars off the road for a year, or the same carbon dioxide used by 26,000 growing tree seedlings for 10 years. Just like these schools have already done, you too can help continue to grow an energy-conscious culture and engage everyone in your school, staff, students, custodians, and administrators, by being a leader and role model in eliminating energy and water waste, participating in the Eco-Schools program, in Earth Hour and Earth Day activities, and by spreading the energy savings word through energy tips added to your school newsletter, discussion at assemblies, PA announcements, classroom competitions, conservation posters, Twitter posts, classroom stewards, and creativity. Leamington District Secondary's Eco Team found a solution to electricity waste in the school cleaning process. Now, custodians use room garbage bins to indicate when a room hasn't been cleaned, instead of leaving the lights on. According to the David Suzuki Foundation, scientists are more certain than ever that human activity is causing climate change. Ian Bruce of Foundation Science and Policy stated, "If you were 95% certain your house was at risk of catching fire, and if there was something you could do to prevent it, you would do it." Conservation makes sense. It reduces our carbon footprint, it saves resources, it saves money, and it's easy to do. With your help, we can continue to reach and even surpass our goals.